Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And on this edition, we're going to be talking about wide receiver Michael Thomas and some very good news in regards to Michael Thomas and the New Orleans Saints. And we're also going to be talking about Super Bowl 56. We're going to be breaking down that game and giving a prediction of who I feel is going to be hoisting that Lombardi trophy and being the champion of Super Bowl 56. But thank you so much for being here. Also, I ask that you hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also just thank you for all the support that you show the State of the Saints podcast. But let's go ahead and talk about Michael Thomas, man. This is some good news. Michael Thomas, who has been the Saints wide receiver, since 2016. He really hit the ground running, being one of the top wide receivers in all of football. He definitely has ingrained himself as one of the top New Orleans Saints players that they have on their roster. But for the last couple of years, it's been kind of rocky, man, between the New Orleans Saints and Michael Thomas. We all know in that week 1 game a couple of years ago against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, around the 2-minute mark, somebody rolled over Michael Thomas' ankle, and he was in and out of the lineup throughout that season. And then this past season, he didn't take a snap. He had a lot of things going on with him as far as his ankle. We know about Sean Payton coming out earlier in the offseason saying that the surgery that was supposed to take place on Michael Thomas's ankle should have happened earlier. That kind of caused some type of friction between the Saints organization as well as Michael Thomas. And a lot of people had their speculations about if Michael Thomas, is he going to get traded, or, are the Saints going to get rid of him? I've seen some nonsensical rhetoric from some Saints fans talking about getting rid of the guy. Some people talking about trading him. Really don't understand how salary cap works. But that just showed you how passionate people are about the New Orleans Saints, and they feel that if no player is bigger than the organization. But I do feel like Michael Thomas, he means so much to the organization. He means so much to the New Orleans Saints fans. I think it was more of Saints fans being frustrated because they couldn't see him go out there and perform. And I'm pretty sure Michael Thomas was frustrated in his own right. I don't believe that a guy of his caliber, a guy that is as competitive as Michael Thomas is, wanted to shut it down. I really don't. I don't think that he wanted to do that. I think he wanted to, build on what he was actually doing. He had more catches than any other player in the first 4 seasons of their career. He was really headed towards Canton. Look, Michael Thomas is so important to the New Orleans Saints. He really is. And this is the type of news that I like to hear. It's saying that Michael Thomas is not expected to be traded for the 2022 season. It says the Saints played the entire 2021 season without star wide receiver Michael Thomas due to a string of nagging ankle injuries. An eventful 9-8 campaign for the Saints, followed by Sean Payton's stunning departure, defensive coordinator Dennis Allen ensuing promotion, and Alvin Kamara's arrest in Las Vegas largely shift the spotlight off of Thomas, his uncertain recovery timetable, and questionable regarding his role in the club's plans going forward. But we all know that Michael Thomas, it was a lot of speculation once again. But Michael Thomas spent, the entire time for the most part in New York after he made that announcement about him not going to play for the 2021 season. He spent most of his time in New York, getting surgery, getting rehab, and finally he made his way to New Orleans. And according to sources saying that he is on good terms with the New Orleans Saints. And that's the type of stuff that you want to hear. You want to hear that type of stuff, man, because Michael Thomas is so important for what the Saints are going to be doing going forward. We know that Dennis Allen is the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and you need a guy like Michael Thomas on your roster, especially since you don't know who your quarterback is going to be. You definitely need a star wide receiver. But I really feel like the New Orleans Saints are going to do a lot and do their best to try to bring Jameis Winston back. I really do. I don't think that Michael Thomas would be this excited if he didn't know something. Like I'm pretty sure they probably talked to him about the future of the team and what direction that they were going to go in. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to try to really make a push to try to get somebody like Jameis Winston, or heck, even a top quarterback in the league, to come to the Saints organization, because Michael Thomas is going to be one of those guys that is going to get the Saints offense over that hump. They struggled the entire season last year. I mean, it was up and down. I have not seen the Saints offense that stagnant, that non-existent. I can't remember how long it's been. It's been a while since I actually seen the Saints offense that inconsistent, from the offensive line to the wide receivers. The only consistency that you actually had was Cesar Ruiz whiffing on blocks and Alvin Kamara running in between the tackles and running for his life, basically making something out of nothing. No disrespect to the guys on the offensive line, but it is what it is, man. It was a terrible campaign. And those wide receivers, you had Marquez Callaway towards the last 3 games of the season. He kind of stepped up, but they had one game in which, you can really see his inconsistency shining through. And you can see that this guy, can't, to me, at this stage of his career, is not a number 2, more of a number 3 receiver. Okay. So, but the Saints having Michael Thomas back, being on good terms with the team is a plus. All right. Because I want to see Michael Thomas go out there and ball out. I want to see Michael Thomas flexing that muscle every time he get that first down. I want to see Michael Thomas being grimy. I want to see Michael Thomas being physical, being that bully that we all know that he can be. He is a guy that kind of, embraces what New Orleans is all about, man. It's that us against the world type mentality. We have that chip on our shoulder, man. We live our lives, like, man, if you're not with us, you're against us. And he has that, man. And that's how we roll. Well, we're very passionate about our team. I feel like Michael Thomas is very passionate about being the best. And I think a lot of these guys that he's watching, since he's been on the sideline for a little more than almost 2 years, I can't believe this, but a little more than 2 years, he's watching guys like Jamar Chase emerge as one of the top guys. Justin Jefferson emerged as one of the top guys. Then you got some of those mainstays, guys like DeAndre Hopkins. You got guys like, Chris Godwin. You know what I'm saying? You got these guys out here, who are making a campaign and, out of sight, out of mind. No matter how good you are, if you're not around, people tend to forget about you. And I think a lot of people are starting to forget about Michael Thomas and his production that he has on the field. Not Saints fans, because him not being here, and we're actually watching from the Saints offense, we know he's missing, okay? And we know what he's capable of. So good to know that he's on good terms with the team. Looking forward to seeing what he can do in the 2022 campaign. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be throwing him the football so he can get back to being that dominant receiver that we all know he can be. But time for us to move forward. But first, I want to acknowledge the fine folks at Manscaped.com. Manscaped.com, the official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. It says, exciting news across from our friends at Manscaped. Just launched their 4th generation performance package. This ultimate package includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right. The Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped, the leader in male grooming, and it has done it again and making your grooming game next level. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the new performance package, the Lawnmower 4.0, by going to manscaped.com, using that promo code State of Saints, and you will save 20% off of your purchase on the Lawnmower 4.0, as well as other Manscaped items. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Who Dat Nation, it is time for us to talk about the main event of the evening. I'm talking about Super Bowl 56. Super Bowl 56 is here, and it is time for us to go ahead and break it down. Who is going to win this football game? But before we do that, somebody hit that ESPN music for me real quick. Yes, sir. Super Bowl 56 is here, and we have 2 teams. We have the Los Angeles Rams, and they're taking on the underdog, the Rocky Balboas of the National Football League right now. I'm talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, led by our favorite Bayou Bengal, Joe Burrow, and the Cincinnati Bengals, man. Let's just be serious about this, folks. Nobody expected the Cincinnati Bengals to be here. Nobody expected the Cincinnati Bengals to be on their television on the biggest stage the NFL has to offer, but they're here. And it's no mistake that they got here. You know, like, this is a team that is rough and tough. They don't give up. And every now and then you see teams like this come in the National Football League. It's teams that nobody expects to be on this stage. I can think about in the mid 2000s when you had the New York Giants, right? The New York Giants, they played that game, the final game of the season, when the Patriots had a chance of going undefeated in the regular season, and they gave the Patriots everything that they could give them, even though they lost. But it was something about that game that helped them in the postseason. They were able to go there and handle up on their business. And also a couple of years later, you had a team like the New York Giants again with Eli Manning. They played all road games on their way to a Super Bowl championship. So the Cincinnati Bengals are one of those underdog teams that nobody really expected them to do anything, but they're here. I mean, they beat the Las Vegas Raiders. They beat the number 1 seed and the Tennessee Titans, and then they knocked off everybody's AFC favorite at the time, the Kansas City Chiefs. So once again, it is no mistake why this team is here. And you have the Los Angeles Rams. So the Los Angeles Rams had a lot of unanswered questions. Mainly, could they beat the San Francisco 49ers? The final game of the season, week 18. A lot of us Saint fans are really upset about this. The Los Angeles Rams had a commanding 17-3 lead, and they squandered it by losing in overtime to the San Francisco 49ers, which I know a lot of teams in the NFC were mad about, allowed the 49ers to get into the playoffs, and they knocked off a lot of the favorites that a lot of people had. Knocked off the Dallas Cowboys, knocked off the Green Bay Packers. But the Rams, I think they lost like 7 straight to Kyle Shanahan's San Francisco 49ers, but they finally got it done. I mean, it was a tough phone booth type game in that NFC Championship game, but they finally got it done. And for the second year in a row, we have the home team hosting the Super Bowl. Even though you can make an argument that Los Angeles doesn't really care about the Rams. I'm just being real. The Rams, you got more fans of the Raiders, you got more fans of 49ers than you do of the Rams. But I mean, I've used the term home game very, very loosely. SoFi Stadium, I have never been there. Hopefully I get there one day, but it's supposed to be a beautiful stadium. And now the Rams get opportunity to play at home, quote unquote. But you look at both of these teams, you look at the Rams. The Rams are a finesse football team offensively. You got Matthew Stafford, who I'm very proud of. I like Matthew Stafford a lot. I think Matthew Stafford is one of those guys that is very underappreciated, a guy that people kind of wrote off. A lot of people are making it seem like he's responsible for what was going on in Detroit. Anybody that you talk to, when they talk about the Detroit organization, tells you it's not a very good ran organization. They don't know what the heck they're doing out there. Coach after coach, coordinator after coordinator. I mean, you're trying to fix this team, but it's a insurmountable mountain to climb. You know what I'm saying? It's just a tough mountain. You know what I'm saying? Every time you get there, it seems like it's raining and you fall back down to the bottom. That is the story of Matthew Stafford's career. But now he comes to the Los Angeles Rams. They gave up a lot for him, but he proved that he was worth it, okay? He got them to a point where they're at right now, which is the Super Bowl. And I'm not buying that stuff about, the Rams win a Super Bowl before with Jared Goff. Look, as a Saints fan, we all know that the Rams did not deserve to be in that Super Bowl game. Sorry, it is what it is. I got my speculations about that, but I'll leave those theories to myself for this. But Matthew Stafford, I'm extremely proud of this guy. I'm happy that he is in this game, and he has an opportunity to silence the critics out there, man, because there are a lot of guys out there that want to see this dude fall flat on his face. But I'm rooting for this guy in some ways, and I think he's going to have a good game because I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. If you look at the offensive side of the ball, they have a solid offensive line. You don't have Higbee, the tight end. He's dealing with a knee injury. He's not going to be playing in this game. You had other guys, stepping up. Odell Beckham Jr., who you acquired via free agency in the middle of the season. The light is starting to come on for him. He's starting to get into that groove. You can tell like he loves to be in Los Angeles. He loves to be playing for such a high-profile team. And then you have a guy like Cooper Kupp, who got MVP consideration at a wide receiver. That's unheard of in today's NFL. It seems like nothing else actually matters except the quarterback position when it comes to the most valuable player. For him to actually get a vote, it just tells you how good of a season he actually has. Cooper Kupp is an amazing wide receiver. To me, I don't think he gets as much credit as being one of the top receivers in the league. He definitely deserves it this year, and he's a guy that can hurt you. He can hurt you because he's fundamentally sound. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he is fundamentally sound, and when he catches the ball, he can get that yak. He can get yards after the catch. He's a smart player when he gets the ball in his hands. He has a way to get behind defenders, and he's a smart player when he gets the ball in his hands. He has a way to get behind defenders, and this is going to be one of those games where the Bengals are going to have to buckle down. I mean, they got some good, decent cornerbacks out there. You got some guys that are yapping off, running off at the mouth like they about that life, like Eli Apple and, so many other guys. But Odell Beckham Jr., along with Cooper Kupp, I think that these guys are going to have a really good game. And not to mention, you have Sony Michel and Cam Akers running in between the tackles. I mean, you have Cam Akers. Shouts out to Clinton High School's own in Clinton, Mississippi, Cam Akers. This guy, man, when he ruptured his Achilles earlier in the season, and then now he's playing right now, which is a testament to modern medicine and the willpower of this guy. I mean, the guy is out there running guys over, really playing some of his best football at a high level. And then you have Sony Michel, who you got from the New England Patriots, a guy that's a good third down back, catching the ball out of backfield. They're a very good 1-2 punch, and they complement themselves. And then you have on the defensive side of football, I mean, you got an embarrassment of riches. You got Leonard Floyd. You got Aaron Donald. You got Von Miller. You got Jalen Ramsey. I mean, this team is loaded. It just seems like to me that they have basically a super team over there. I don't know how they do it. I don't know who's the GM of the Los Angeles Rams, but these guys are all together, and these guys can wreak havoc. And you have to look at the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. Look, me personally, I think that the offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals are going to play a lot better. I mean, you have no choice. I mean, everybody is talking about how trash you are. Everybody's talking about how bad you are as an offensive line and how you're going to get your quarterback killed. Everybody's referring to that Tennessee Titan game where Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times. So if he got sacked 9 times, imagine how many hurries the defense had on Joe Burrow, but his escapability probably didn't cause him to get a sack. So if they got 9 sacks, I'm pretty sure, like they had double-digit amount of hurries. So the offensive line has been hearing this. I expect for these guys to buckle down. All right, you had 2 weeks to know who your opponent is going to be, and I think that they are going to be prepared. I think this probably is going to be one of the best games as an offensive line because, once again, you don't want to be the main reason why your team ends up losing the Super Bowl. And if you give Joe Burrow time, he can find guys like Jamar Chase. He can find guys like T. Higgins. He can find guys like Tyler Boyd. You know what I'm saying? He can find his receivers because, Joe Burrow is not one of those guys that's going to shy away from anybody. Joe Burrow is not going to be a guy. You have some quarterbacks who, Jalen Ramsey over there. I'm not going to throw that way. I'm going to throw it the opposite direction. Jalen Ramsey is an incredible cornerback, but Joe Burrow is not afraid of him. He is not afraid of him. This guy understands the assignment. He understands that he has a really good wide receiver in Jamar Chase, who is the offensive rookie of the year. I mean, it's so crazy that people were talking about Jamar Chase and saying that Jamar Chase couldn't catch. I mean that got silenced really, really quick. But it just shows you how quick people try to create a narrative, and then all of a sudden, like, they try to get their hands away from it, I guess, because they feel like their credibility on the line. Hey, you were wrong. Move on. But it is what it is. Joe Burrow is a very competitive guy, and he trusts his wide receivers, and he's not going to shy away from that. So I think that that's going to be an interesting matchup, and I think that you're going to see Jalen Ramsey go up against Jamar Chase in this game, and I think you're going to see some opportunities where both guys are going to get the best of one another. And also, you have to look at the defensive side of football for the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, these guys can't get pressure on a quarterback. You have Trey Hendrickson, so once again having double-digit sacks, 27 sacks over the last 2 seasons. I know Saints fans are like, man, why did we get rid of this guy? But I mean, last year he played his way out of New Orleans, and I'm happy that he's getting opportunity. And now he's getting opportunity on a world stage to really try to handle up on his business. You got Hubbard out there alongside him. These guys can get to the quarterback. They can get pressure on Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford, sometimes he can make bad decisions if you get a little pressure on him. A lot of people say that Matthew Stafford, he's going to account for one mistake a game. It depends on when he's going to do it. I ain't buying into all that. I see Matthew Stafford, yes, throw an interception to cause a game, but I also seen Matthew Stafford throw the pass to win the game on several occasions. But that's neither here nor there. You have Trey Hendrickson, you have Hubbard. I mean, you got these guys that can get pressure on the quarterback. You also have guys in the secondary, guys like Von Bell, the one that sealed the game for the Cincinnati Bengals to have that go-ahead field goal to win the game in the AFC Championship. I mean, you got some guys. I mean, they play together. You know, it's not a bunch of household names. It's not a bunch of guys that you're going to say is going to be a fearsome defense. I don't think they have a fearsome defense, but they have a bend but don't break defense. They have that defense where guys kind of huddle up and say, okay, guys, it's time for us to get it done. It's time for us to work together. There are no superheroes on that team in the secondary, but they do an okay job, and they're going to have to do an okay job. They're going to have to do a good job, an okay job on both of these wide receivers because, man, once again, Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr. finding his way is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for these players that are in the secondary of the Cincinnati Bengals. But who do I think is going to win this football game? This is a tough one. But to me, I'm going to have to roll with the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, I think that the Los Angeles Rams being at home, the Los Angeles Rams, I think that they are going to put up a fight. I think everybody is expecting for the Rams to run these boys up out of the building, but I don't see that happening, man. The Cincinnati Bengals, they aren't supposed to be here. They're playing with house money right now. Like, honestly, man, they walked into the casino and they got a casino credit here. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Rams are the team with the most pressure. They got the superstar head coach, the young Sean McVay, the innovative super genius that he's supposed to be. You got Matthew Stafford. His legacy is on the line. You got Aaron Donald. His legacy, in a way, is on the line, even though I feel like he would go to the Hall of Fame regardless. But it comes a point in every great player's career that they want that championship. They want that championship. They want that to solidify themselves as being great. You have Jalen Ramsey over there. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be the new generation lockdown, shutdown corner. He's supposed to be the new Revis. He's supposed to be the new Neon Dion. He's supposed to be that guy. So there's a lot of pressure coming from the Rams organization. And not to mention, you built this $5 billion stadium, right? Because you're trying to attract people. You're competing with the Lakers. You're competing with the Clippers. You're competing with the Dodgers, all for the attention of sport fans all over. And the Rams don't really have that attention right now. Them leaving, going to St. Louis, kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. And a lot of people aren't ready to embrace them just yet. And what's the best way to embrace somebody, or somebody to embrace you, is to show you that you're worth embracing. And the way that you do that is by going out there and winning this football game. But I just think that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be, I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be up for this game. I think that Joe Burrow, a guy that plays very cool, man, calm, collected, a guy that's not ever afraid of the moment. It don't never seem like you can rattle this guy. This guy seems like he's unflappable. And I just think that his personality, it just allows his teammates to try to mimic what he's trying to bring out there. I think that when you have a quarterback that you can believe in, I think when you have a quarterback who you feel like you can win with, it gives so many people, so many teammates that feeling like, man, we can win every game. And I just think that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be motivated for this game. I think that they're going to try to do everything that they can. And they might fall behind. We've seen this before versus the Kansas City Chiefs. We see it. They fell behind, but they did not give up. So if the Rams feel like they're just going to come in there and slap around the Cincinnati Bengals or the lowly Bengals or the Bungles, I think they're sadly mistaken. This team is going to be one of those teams to me who probably, get punched, knocked down a couple times, but they still are going to stand up and be waving that glove saying, come on, I want another. So I think that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win Super Bowl 56, and they're going to be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. A part of me are picking the Bengals because I love the underdog, and I think that just like Cincinnati, just like New Orleans, I should say, Cincinnati kind of reminds me of that. Like this isn't a white-collar town. You know what I'm saying? These are blue-collar people, who spend their last bit of money, their rent money, like in ways, in order for them to sacrifice, they sacrifice that in order to go out there to get a little bit of normalcy, just to get an opportunity, just to cheer, get away from all of the troubles of the world. It just reminds me so much of the New Orleans Saints fan base. Even though I don't like the Houday stuff, I have to root for the underdog. So I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals to win Super Bowl 56. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think about Michael Thomas embracing the New Orleans Saints organization again? New Orleans Saints organization embracing him. And what do you think about Super Bowl 56? Who is going to get that victory? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. And I want to thank the fine folks at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, another sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. An official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56 is DraftKings. They're officially live in Louisiana with mobile sports betting just in time for the big game. Right now, you can place a bet in Louisiana with DraftKings Sportsbook without leaving the comfort of your couch. So, to add to the excitement, DraftKings is giving new customers a special offer that you don't want to miss. Bet just $5 or more on any of the games, or in this case, Super Bowl 56, and you'll win $280 in free bets if your team is victorious. The wait is over. Head to DraftKings Sportsbook app now to check out all of the DraftKings great promotions and features, including same game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more leg you add, the more money you can win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. And best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the promo code SOTS, and get 56-1 odds on any team. Bet just $5 or more and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That promo code, once again, is SOTS this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. You have to be 21 plus, physically presented in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensed partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. And if you know somebody that's dealing with a gambling problem, they can call 1-877-770-STOP. That's 1-877-770-7867. Good stuff, man. Thank y'all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate that. Make sure before you go, you hit that like button. Let everybody know that you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast. And also previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, and also a part of the Pigskin Podcast Network. And everybody knows that you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. Till next time, all I got to say is